Kind Words is a game about, well, kind words. But it's more than just a game. I hesitate to even call it that, because it's one of those unique video game experiences that compel you to think about its impact on the world, on others, on culture, and on the medium of video games itself. It's special. It intersects with reality in such a powerful way that you just can't help but reflect on your experience every time you play it. So, what is it exactly that you do in this game? You write letters to people. Or, you request some from others. It's a simple concept, really, but it's a well-executed one. Now, these aren't just any ordinary letters. The whole premise of the game is that people, real people from all over the world, are able to make anonymous, short requests for letters whenever they're in need of some advice or some kind words. Are you stressed out about an upcoming test? You can ask people for study tips, for luck, for sympathy, for whatever. Are you worried about moving to a new city and having to find new friends? You can ask people about their own experiences, you can ask people for guidance, or you can just ask people to say something comforting. Whatever it is that you ask, you can expect people in this community to respond with something helpful. Requests can be relatively low stakes, like someone worrying about going to the dentist for a simple cleaning. But requests can also be extremely serious and concerning. Although, I'll address the topic of those more serious requests later. You don't have to answer any of these requests, but when you do, you have the opportunity to use your words to make an impact. A positive one. And that whole concept of making a positive impact is what brings me to the title of this video: Writing 100 Kind Letters to Strangers. I've always wanted to be more positive and kind, and this game gives me an outlet to do so. I'm not saying that I can't be positive and kind in real life, but rather, there's this distinct sense of toxicity on the virtual spaces I interact with on a daily basis, and I feel like I needed this game to show me a different side of the online community. I don't play games like this. Instead, I play games like this.
Synchronization 100%. Good to be back.
What's happening, bro?
Going free.
Now, this doesn't mean that you can't be nice in these other games, but it's just so easy to join in on the toxicity if everyone else is doing it. And sometimes, you just want to call people out. And it's not just online multiplayer games that are toxic either. We're constantly interacting with spaces that breed and feed toxicity, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and even Reddit too. As a disclaimer though, Kind Words isn't immune to toxicity. There's a report system in place to stop users from doing and saying hurtful things, but as with all things that promote anonymity, there's always going to be people who use that opportunity to say some nasty things. It's just how people are. And I don't think that all these people are necessarily bad people either. It's just that most people don't ever really think about how strongly they impact others with their words, especially if they can't physically see the person. Have we ruined someone's day by chewing them out in-game for something trivial? Have we just called a child a bitch? You know, we might have, and it might have been for a good reason, but still. Anyway, we're here to talk about the good things about the game. I personally haven't run into anybody trolling, so I'm going to assume that hurtful comments are few and far between, which is a good thing. It says a lot about the community that plays this game. With that being said, let's get into the letter writing process and let's take a deeper look at the game. After all, we still have 100 letters to write. One thing I immediately need to point out before we get into anything else is the game's soundtrack. It's incredible. and it totally fits the game's relaxing atmosphere. The subtitle of this game is Lo-Fi Chill Beats to Write To, so if you're a fan of that kind of music, you'll love every track on this game. The music isn't the only thing that contributes to the uplifting ambiance of the game either. There are these flying paper airplanes that people can send from all around the world that can say anything, and occasionally, you'll see one flying through your room. If you click on it, you can see what someone sent you, and half the time, it's a positive message, and the other half of the time, it's something silly. They kind of remind me of high school students passing notes to each other. Your room is the centerpiece of this entire experience, and you can decorate it with objects that you receive from other players. To get these objects, all you need to do is receive a sticker from someone else. You can get stickers from players thanking you for responding to their request, or you can get stickers from players who choose to send you one in their response to your request. Everything about this game is super wholesome. In regards to writing the actual letters, I want to make a point first before I delve into it. Since the game is fully anonymous and you have no way to continuously exchange letters with one single individual, you'll likely never ever see the fruits of your efforts in this game. But that's the beauty of it. You do it because it's the right thing to do, not because you're looking for some sort of reward. There's a value to kindness, even if you don't always get to see it. Writing these letters isn't exactly a simple task, however. You're dealing with real people, and there are real consequences involved no matter what you write. Giving advice can be tricky and problematic, because you can never get the full context of what's going on in other people's lives. You don't know them. Advice simply isn't a one-size-fits-all type of thing. Yet even as I say that, I still think that it's okay to give advice to people on occasion. It's kind of like giving advice to a friend. It's important to note that while this game isn't a substitute for professional therapy and proper mental health care, it's still a space where people can get help. There are mental health resources available in the game and a reporting system where you can report users who seem to be in danger. And, most importantly, Kind Words never advertised itself as an alternative to treatment. What the game emphasizes instead is community and support. And those are the aspects we're going to focus on here. Kind Words provides people with a space for comfort, with a space to decompress, and with a space to go wild with ranting if you need it. The game is all about being a friend to someone, being a shoulder to lean on, or being a good voice to hear from for someone in trouble. It's about kind words, and how these kind words might just help these people get through their struggles. Writing these words isn't just letters on a screen. It's more than that. It's an affirmation to someone that someone out there supports them and cares about them. And not everyone is privileged to feel that way for many different reasons. It's all about being an ally and providing people with reassurance. So that'll be my goal for today. Being an ally to others and making sure they feel safe and cared for. Let's go write those letters. there's a particular feeling you get after writing a kind letter to someone. It's a warm feeling, not an overbearing one, but one that makes you feel light and soft and just a bit giddy enough to write another one. Maybe this sounds a bit over the top and hard to understand, but if I were to contrast it with something, I think you'd understand it a bit easier. If you've ever played a rage-inducing video game, then you know what it's like to leave a gaming session feeling salty as hell. You get that pit in your stomach from the subsiding adrenaline, you get those body heat-induced sweats, and sometimes you get angry enough to the point of taking it out a little bit on the people around you. Everything about kind words gives you the opposite feeling. You just feel good. And I think people need to feel that way more often, especially in the times we live in. All of us have struggles. All of us have problems. And in a world filled with injustice in every single facet imaginable, there needs to be more kindness. While this game isn't the end-all and be-all of fixing life's endless issues, it is a space to escape, to heal, to learn, to empathize, to understand, and to help. So I encourage you to buy this game and give it a shot. Write some kind letters, or maybe even be written some yourself, because sometimes you need kind words too. And in that world out there where others are so hell-bent on making people feel like they don't belong, where entire systems exist to keep people down, and where injustice bears its teeth at every turn, be the person who supports those in need. Thank you all for watching, and please remember to be kind. I hope to see you all again soon.